A few weeks ago, HomGeek sent me their bread machine to test out, and I wanted to try a recipe that I've never done before. I wanted to try to make jam. I've never made it in or outside of a bread machine before, and it kind of intimidated me. So I figured the best thing to do is to just take it head on, right? And so I tried out my first recipe in the HomGeek, and let me tell you, it was absolutely fantastic. I will never buy jam from the grocery store again. I didn't can it. We made it, we put it in the refrigerator, it's set up, and it was absolutely fantastic. So join me as we make strawberry jam in the HomGeek bread machine. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank HomGeek for sending us this bread machine. If you want to take a look at it, there'll be a link down in the description. So what I did was I wanted to make some homemade jam, and I've never made it in a bread machine. I've never made it in a stovetop. I've never canned it. I've never made refrigerator jam. I've never done any of that. One of the things when I tried to tackle this recipe is I thought about how store-bought jam tastes to me. I've always had homemade jam because my mom makes it and cans it. But I wanted to sort of approach it a little differently, because every time I buy store-bought jam, it is so sweet. And I wanted to cut down on the sugar. I want to taste more of the fruit and less of the sugar. So I reduced the sugar significantly, and it actually is fabulous. So with this recipe, you can this recipe, but I just made a batch, put it in the refrigerator overnight. It thickens up. When you wake up the next morning, it's luscious, delicious strawberry jam, and it's fabulous. So we are making enough for like us, 2 people. We ate it by the end of the week. Because you're not canning it, you don't want to leave it in the refrigerator for an extended period of time. I would say a couple days, maximum a week. So if you want to make more, just double the recipe. If you want to make a lot more, make a lot of batches, right? By the time the end of the week came, we had ate all the jam up. Oh, Eric spooned it, most of it, when it was done. I used it on toast. So let's start making some jam. I'm going to use frozen strawberries just because it's not strawberry season, and when I went to the store, the strawberries weren't looking too great. So you can use fresh or frozen. I've been using frozen the last 2 weeks, and it turns out fine. So what you want to do is you want to take your frozen strawberries, and I have a heaping 4 cups of frozen strawberries. And what we did was we thawed them out, and now we're just going to mash them up. You could actually use a little immersion blender if you wanted to for this, but I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way, right? Okay, so we had a heaping 4 cups of frozen strawberries. It's about 1.5 pounds of frozen strawberries. When we got it all mashed down, it's about 3 cups. One of the reasons I chose not to use like an immersion blender is because look at that little texture in there. It's a little chunky, right? And nothing's better when you're eating jam and you're eating along and you pull up a little gem, right? You pull up a little hunk of strawberry that you eat, and it's like, right? That's the little gem of the jam. So I left it a little chunky just because that's how I like it. If you don't like it like that, puree it with a immersion blender. Okay, so this is a very simple jam. It has no preservatives. It has no additives. It has absolutely nothing but fruit, sugar, and pectin. And when you go to the store, you will find, I just went to my big box store, I found 2 different kinds of sugar gel pectin. This one is the regular original, And this is for use in less or no sugar needed recipes. This is what I'm using because I don't want my jam overly sweet. If you love sweet jam, go for it, right? What's interesting when you look on here is when you're doing a cooked recipe, it wants you to use 2 quarts, right? With 2 quarts of fruit, 7 cups of sugar. And even the low sugar wants 3 quarts of fruit to 4 cups of sugar. To me, that is still like, wow, right? That's like a 1-to-1 sugar ratio. If you like your jam really sweet, go for it. I chose to cut that way down, and when I did, it was absolutely delicious to me. I tasted more strawberry than sugar. It was sweet enough. You could double the sugar that I'm using. I'm only using 1 cup. You can double the sugar that I'm using. You can use 1.5. It's all to your own taste. Play with it a little. Run with a couple batches and decide exactly where you like it. I like it right here, and you might like it sweeter. You could even use Splenda in this if you wanted to really cut the sugar down. But it's all a matter of taste, and any batch that you do is going to be delicious, right? So let's rock and roll. Okay, so let's plug in our bread machine. And we're going to go ahead and open the lid, and we're going to put our strawberries into our container here. Probably safer to take the container out, but hey. Smells delicious. We're going to put our cup of sugar. Yum. And with this recipe, I'm going to put a half a package of our Sure-Gel pectin. And I pretty much just guess on this. I don't like make this a scientific thing. So I just take a look in here and pour half, give or take. Close this baby down. And here we're going to select menu. We're going to go all the way over to the jam setting, which is number 13. And we're going to go ahead and hit start. And the bread machine is going to heat up. It's going to start stirring. It's going to get really hot in the process. This cycle is 1 hour and 20 minutes. So when it's done, we are going to just open the bread machine up. We're going to let it sit there for 30-45 minutes to cool down. Then we will take it out and we will put it into a container. Okay, our bread machine just went off, and we're going to open it up. And we're going to leave it open for 30 to 45 minutes until it cools some, and then we'll remove it from the bread machine. Hey guys, we made jam in the bread machine. Cool, right? So I know what you were thinking when you took the jam out of the bread machine. It was liquidy. But look what happened in the refrigerator. This has been in the refrigerator overnight. Look at that bad boy. It looks delicious, huh? Look at that. Jam. I'm not buying jam in the grocery store anymore. So I have some toast here, and we're going to butter it. I killed my butter there a little bit. Just some basic, this is Italian bread, but it's your basic garden variety, off the shelf bread. And we're going to take our jam. Oh my God, look at that. It looks delicious. And we got this. We got almost 2 of these mason jars full. This is about 3/4 of the way full. Look at that. We made jam. We made jam. I can't believe it. What's funny is my mom always made jam growing up. And it was just so mysterious to me. Look at that. There's little chunks of strawberry here and there. Wow, and it's so simple. It's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. Simple ingredients. You know exactly what's in it. You don't have to worry about any funny stuff being in it. Technically, if you want to can this, you can go right ahead. I don't really can. I don't have any experience with it, and because I'm a germaphobe, I don't want to get myself sick. And this is just as good. It's easy enough to make on the weekends. You'll have jam all week. It's really good. It's fantastic, actually. Your own homemade jam right in your bread machine. Thanks, HomGeek. Bread machine was fabulous, and the jam is fabulous. We're also going to make some bread in there. I typically use bread machines as dough machines. I generally don't bake in them, but I'm going to try to bake off a loaf of bread in there just to see how it is. Definitely going to make some dough in there. It's a fabulous machine. And some bread machines have like horizontal loaves and some vertical, and that makes a big deal when you're baking in the bread machine. But I typically don't bake in the bread machine, so it really doesn't bother me whether it's a horizontal loaf or a vertical loaf. I just want to make the dough. So for me, it's how the machine forms in making the dough that's most important. And I'm going to tell you the jam cycle is absolutely fantastic. So thanks, HomGeek, for sending us a bread machine. I'll put a link in the description if you want to take a look at it. It's a really nice machine. If you like this video, please subscribe below and leave me a comment and a like, and visit my website at amylearnstocook.com. I'm also on Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter at Amy Learns to Cook. And on Instagram, I am at Cooking with Amy. Your own homemade jam.
Jam? You just double dipped. We can't get this on film. Can't put on film, Boo. That part's gotta get cut. Unless we're gonna have his and her bottles. That's yours and I get the full one.
It's delicious.
That's some fresh stuff, Boo Boo. You did well.
Yeah.
You didn't burn it or anything.